Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to be doing another card discussion video. Now, I have done these card talk videos or card discussion videos, a couple of times on my channel in the past, but a lot of you guys want to see more of it on my channel, and I'm going to try to bring that content to you as best I can. Now, a lot of people that do card discussions, they talk about cards that you only can use in the meta. Now, I will be doing that, cards and tech cards you can try out facing the meta, but I also want to include, because one of my favorite passions in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is deck building. I also want to include in that package just good generic cards that you could use in decks. So if you wanted to build a water type of deck based around mermaids, well, this is a card you could try out in the deck. If you wanted to build a rock based deck, or an earth based deck, or a stun based deck, well, here's a card you could try out in that deck. Things of that nature, cards you may want to pick up on going forward in the future into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Things of this nature I want to also include in this package. Just not all meta discussion, even though I love playing against the meta. I also want to include the broad range of good cards that are just out there in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Not ones that are just popular right in the here and now. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Forecasting, so to speak. So today I'm going to be talking about some cards, two cards actually, that right now nobody's going to play them. But down the road they may be a very useful card to pick up. So it may be best to pick them up now and see what happens, because they're very cheap. The reason I'm going to be talking about these cards, I'm going to go over first, and then we'll talk about the cards' applications, possibly. So, if you've paid any attention to the structure decks that have been announced and released for us over the last year in the TCG, you would notice a trend. Beside the DDD structure deck, so let's take that and the Seto and Yugi structure decks and put them to the side right now, okay? So let's push them to the side. Look at some things, some trends here. And Konami is a company that does trends. They made Red Eyes, they made Blue Eyes, they made Dark Magician, they made Buster Blader, BLS, support. They do nostalgic things. They're going to do it in an order. They also have been doing something very interesting. They've done a Monarch structure deck, they've done a Felgrand structure deck, and now they've announced to us, which will probably be coming out early next year sometime, probably in April or May, an Ancient Gear structure deck. Now you may be saying to yourself, why are these structure decks even relevant, Seto? What do you mean like they're redoing? Well, back in the day, back in the GX era, these were actually original structure decks, and Konami has been revamping those archetypes / themes, really. When it comes to, I guess you could say, the Monarch structure deck, that was a structure deck back in the GX era that came out for us. When you talk about the Felgrand structure deck, that was the next structure deck after the Monarch structure decks. I believe, my mind could deceive me, that came out after the Monarch structure deck, but it was in the GX era. And the Ancient Gear structure deck, that came out back in the day, back in the infancy of Yu-Gi-Oh! With like the Ancient Gear Dragon, I think, Dragatron or something, whatever it was. That came out back then. So they're redoing these old structure decks and revamping them. And some of the other structure decks that will be coming out in the future, probably, I believe, now don't take my word as gospel, mind you, but it's very possible and very plausible that this will happen. They will probably release to us, and we'll probably hear about it, probably between now and February, of a dinosaur structure deck coming out to us. And maybe down the road, a zombie structure deck getting announced for us. Now you may say, well, zombie support, well, they got Shiranuis. Yes, but they may revisit zombie, just generic zombie support, guys. It's a very high possibility, especially the dinosaur support, because dinosaurs, besides Dino Rabbit format, have done nothing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So there's a very high chance that they will revisit the dinosaur archetype. And these two cards we're going to be talking about today, because if dinosaurs do get support, these cards may become relevant in those decks. So the first card we're going to talk about is a card called Fossil Dig. Now I have the card right here, Fossil Dig. I will put it up on the picture right now for you guys so you guys can see over here. Fossil Dig is a very good card. It's pretty much like a Rhoda for dinosaurs, literally. And it's a very good card that if they do make a dinosaur support structure deck, this card most likely will be staple probably in that deck. And that is Fossil Dig. It's a spell card. Add one level 6 or lower dinosaur type monster from your deck to your hand. Also note, this does not say you can use it once per turn. So if you have 2 Fossil Digs in your hand, you can activate 2 of them right then and there. Not bad. It's pretty much, you can add pretty much any dinosaur monster from 6 to 1. Pretty nice. The next card we have is Fossil Excavation, which I'll show you guys right here, which I have, and I'll put up on the screen now. So fossil excavation is a continuous trap card that states discard one card from your hand, select one dinosaur type monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Okay? An effect monster special summoned by this way has its effects negated. When this card is removed from the field, destroy that monster, and when that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. So this card is kind of like Call of the Haunted, and you have to keep in mind at that time in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, I believe, if my mind serves me correctly, the dinosaur structure that came out in what, 2005, 2006? And in that case, they had actually hit Call of the Haunted down to 1. So Call of the Haunted was at 1, so they didn't want to make a broken card like Call of the Haunted. So that's why it says you have to discard something, you have to reborn it, and then if it reborns, it doesn't get its effect like Call of the Haunted would, you know. So there are downsides to that, but if they focus on a dinosaur deck that has higher levels, so say the boss monster of said dinosaur structure deck is 5 or 6. So I could literally pitch the dinosaur to the graveyard, this dead monster that's in my hand, reborn another dinosaur type monster, maybe go for a level 4, rank 4 play, maybe go into, if it's a rank 4 type of deck that has good generic, rank 4s, you could be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go for Dolkia, I'm going to go for Logia, and then that opens Pandora's box for who knows what to make that dinosaur deck actually a control-based deck going into the future. So it may have its downsides as a continuous trap card that's kind of like a Call of the Haunted, but it's also kind of like Red Eyes Reborn for the Red Eyes card that continuously brings back a Red Eyes card. This is like the granddaddy of that card, and it's not a bad card really. But Fossil Dig, I really feel like if dinosaurs do come up with a structure deck, that would be maybe reprinted in the structure deck, but it also may not be reprinted like Summoner's Art wasn't for a while after we had Cleaforts. So possibilities. But I just wanted to bring you guys attention these two cards that may become relevant in a future deck that may be coming out in the next couple of months. And I hope this card talk was informative. I hope you took something away from it. If you want to invest in these cards, they're very cheap right now. Dolkia and Logias, even from the Secrets and Photon Shockwave, are very cheap as well. So if you want to build a dinosaur deck and you want to take a shot in the dark and spend maybe $5, literally, pick these cards up now before they maybe go up in price. It's very possible. But like I said, don't take my word as gospel. This is just what I believe and what I've thought and I've hypothesized, so to speak. But until next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. I hope you guys all enjoyed this card talk episode.